Hey ladies, welcome to another video. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for spending time with me. Today we are going to be doing this kind of half cut crease look with the Beauty Bay palette. I love Beauty Bay. If you do not have any of their products, I definitely recommend you grabbing at least one of their eyeshadow palettes. But this is the look that I came up with. To me, it was really simple. I only used about 3 shades of eyeshadow, and then I have my pink blush, of course, in a cool tone lip. I have been really into like cool tone silver, just like kind of grungy looks lately. I don't know what it is, but this is the look that we came up with. And if you want to see how I got it, please keep watching. So after 40 days and 40 nights of trying to get my new DJI microphone connected to my camera, I think we're good. Hopefully. I think for this video, I'm going to talk through the eye part, and then when it comes to the face, I'll just go through that and add some music over that part because I don't want this to be a long video again. So let's jump straight into it. For brows, I use my Morphe, girl, what's this called? Micro brow pencil in Java. This is one of my favorite items to use for my brows. I also have been using this Precisely My Brow. I do think that this one is a little bit better, but it is pricey. But I juggle between these two. But today I use this for my brows, and then I use this NC48 Studio Finish Concealer from MAC. These are so good. I don't know why they discontinued them, but you can no longer get these from MAC. So yeah, if I would have knew that they was discontinuing them, I would have bought like 3. But anyway, we are going to be using this Celestial Charms palette from Beauty Bay. If you don't have a Beauty Bay palette, girl, go get you some. They are phenomenal beginner palettes. Not necessarily this palette, but they have bigger palettes that I have also. They have like 48 colors in them, and they usually like always have a sale. So if you don't have any of their palettes, check out beautybay.com. This is what this one looks like. I'm thinking about going in with like these blue greenish shades today, because last time I used this, I used the purple ones. So I think we're gonna use that. However, these don't really have any like really good transition shades in them. So I think what I'm gonna do is go into my trusty dusty Z palette, and then for a transition shade, I think I'm gonna do Saddle by MAC. Saddle looks like this. One of my favorite transition shades, especially when I'm doing cool tone looks. And before I get started on the eyeshadow, I'm actually gonna prime my eyeshadow, prime my eyes. I'm actually gonna prime my eyes with the Paint Base by Color Rain. Color Rain is no longer in business. I'm so sad, but I did get a lot of, quite a few items from them before they shut down, and this is one of the ones that I have yet to use. So let's see what this is talking about. So this is in the shade Wheat, but I'm just going to put that on my eye just so that my lid is all one color, because I want my shadows to pop. I think I kind of messed my eyebrow up on this side, but it's fine. Okay, so when I do colorful looks, I don't like to set my concealer because I find that it just makes it look very patchy. Some people do set and their eyeshadow still comes out phenomenal. I don't like to do that just because it just doesn't work for me. So if that works for you, that is completely fine. You can do whatever you need to do and maybe set with a transition shade. I'm not a transition shade, a translucent setting powder. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go straight in with a small brush. I'm going to use this brush, which is also from Color Rain, and I am going to go in with this shade, this dark green shade in Zodiac, and I'm gonna put that in my crease. So I know that I look crazy, but we're gonna pull it all together, okay? So now that I have that base color on in my crease, I'm gonna take the same brush. I'm not taking any extra product. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend out the edges so that it doesn't have like that harshness to it, obviously, because we want our eyeshadows to blend into each other. Next, I'm going to take Saddle. It is more so like a neutral brown, but I like using it for like my cool tone looks as a transition shade because it's like warm enough to match my skin tone, but also cool enough to go with the looks that I'm doing. So I'm gonna take that, a little bit of that on a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend right where that eyeshadow base and the edge of this dark green shadow meet, so that I don't have this harsh line. And you want to make sure that you're not blending hard, because you don't want this green eyeshadow to end up all the way at your eyebrow, okay? So this is kind of how I want it to look, but I still want it to be a little bit more blended. So I'm actually gonna go in with a bigger fluffy brush, and I'm gonna take that same shadow color, again, tapping off the excess, and then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of a heavier hand just to make sure that the shadows are blended. But again, you wanna make sure that you're also gentle at the same time, so that you're not bringing that dark green all the way up to your brow bone, because we don't want that color all the way up there. Kind of got the blend how I want it to look, but I did lose a little bit of that initial shade that we put on. So I'm gonna go back in with the first brush that I use, and then I'm gonna pack on some more of that color back into my crease. And then I'm gonna go back in with the fluffy brush that I used and blend those two colors back and forth until I get the blend and like the color payoff that I want. So I finally have the blend that I want. It still looks a little bit scary, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna fix it when we put the lid color on. I wanted to use this shade right here, but I feel like it's a little bit darker than I want it to be. That is the shade that's in the middle. And the eye is already dark. So I think I'm gonna go in with this one, and that is in the shade Galaxy, which is this one right here. It looks purple in the pan, but when you actually swatch it, it's like purple with a lot of like other like different color reflexes. So let's do that. But before I do that, I think that I want to do like a semi cut crease on this. So I am going to go back in with some of that eyeshadow base that I used earlier, and I'm gonna do like a half cut crease on my eye. For my cut creases, I usually like to go in the middle of my lid and just put a little bit on, and then look up, and then that'll give you your cut crease. And I do have hooded eyes. They're not like super hooded, but they're hooded enough. So that is the best way that I found to do my cut creases. And I don't want to cut the entire crease because I do want some of that green to still show. So we're just gonna do this. And before I put a lid shade on, I'm actually gonna go back in with that brush that we used for the first color. And I am going to tap the outside of that so that it will be blended, because you don't want to see where your concealer starts and ends. So I'm just taking the excess and making sure that I blend the end of that eyeshadow base, okay? For the lid shade, I'm just gonna take one of my flat brushes. This one is a brush from, I don't know where actually. It's probably one of like a brush from a random set that I have, because the name just says MSQ. I don't know what that is, y'all, but just take a flat brush. So I'm gonna take it on the flat brush first. Let's see what that gives me. Oh, that's pretty. Actually take some of this on my finger and see if it gives me a better color payoff. It usually does. Yeah, that looks better. That's actually really pretty. Like, it's a little bit more subtle than what I was going for, but I like it. And especially after I put on some eyeliner, it is going to bring the entire look together. The eyes are done. I went ahead and added some eyeliner. I initially used this Color Rain one, which is really good, but because I put like a glitter shadow on my lid, I kind of felt like the pen was mixing into it. So I went ahead and added my e.l.f. one, which is why I'm looking down. I'm looking for it. So here's the one that I'm talking about. This is the e.l.f. liquid liner. I actually forgot that I had this, and this is in the shade Jet Black. It goes really well over like glitter liners or glitter pigments. So this is the one that I used today, and I'm about to go straight into the face. I'm not going to talk through the face today because I have a couple of other tutorials where I've talked through my face. So I am just going to go ahead and get the rest of the look together, and I'll meet y'all back here before we do the lip. am back. I finished the eyes off camera. I just did black in my waterline, and then I did some bottom mascara. Also, I just love my blush with every single makeup look that I do. Like, even when I try to go light on a blush, it just don't work. It's just the pink on the cheeks is just tea, okay? So I use the Juvia's Place Volume 4, which I'll have linked. I'll have everything linked below. But on top of that, I used Rosy Cheeks Extra Dimension Blush by MAC, which looks like this. It is a blush, but I like to use it as a highlighter. So I don't know if y'all can tell, but I have like a subtle kind of like pink highlight on my cheeks. It's just nothing is better than that, okay? So for lips, I tried to think of a new lip combo, but honestly, I'm gonna do what works, okay? So first, I'm gonna line my lips with Coin Collector by One Size, which is probably my favorite lip liner of all times. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is all I've been using. And then Blankety by MAC. I just feel like this is a good base color for my lips because as y'all can see, I have dark lips. So I do be needing something to kind of mute out that color. And then I think I'm gonna go in with Madeline from NYX. This was just laying on my desk in front of me, so I guess I'm gonna use this. I feel like if I do a pink gloss, it's gonna throw the look off because my cheeks are already so pink. So let's do those and see what we can come up with. I need to sharpen this, but where is the sharpener? This is so pretty. I really just outdo myself every single time, and then the blush on the nose is just really like sending me. Okay, this is the final look. I hope that y'all enjoyed watching this tutorial as much as I enjoyed making it. I will have everything down below in the description box in order that it was used in this video. I will also have all of my storefronts linked, so if there is something in my storefronts that you did not see me use today, please believe that those are products that I actually use in my makeup routine, just not in every single makeup routine. Okay, I would never recommend anything to y'all that I have not used myself. So this is what I came up with today, and I'm living for it, girl. Like, not to toot my own horn, but like every time I do my makeup and I get done, I be like, girl, you really did that, because this is like grown and sexy, but I still like a little playful because I have, you know, the eyeshadow going on, and just I love it. Okay, I love makeup. Bring back fun makeup. Okay, but this is the look. If you have any questions, please let me know down below, and I promise I will get to them as soon as I can. And thank you again for watching, and until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.